Hi, this is your syllabus for Math 1A, Calculus, Spring 2021. This course studies the meaning, computation, and application of the derivative with an introduction to the integral. Topics include the definition of the derivative, limits, rules for differentiating polynomial, rational, exponential, logarithmic, inverse, trigonometric, and root functions, applications of the derivative, and an introduction to the definite integral. The course includes calculator and/or computer usage. Here is your prerequisites for the course. It's a 4-unit course, and it is meeting online. Now, my name is Anthony Siciliano. I'm the instructor. My email is fsiciliano@cmccd.edu. If I was on campus, I'd be in room 212, and there's my telephone number. Here are my student office hours, Monday and Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. Now, I can meet at other times, so we just need to communicate that. So let's say that you have other obligations during the day and you want to meet, later on in the evening at some point. We can communicate and see if our time can fit. So I am open to that. So please communicate with me if you have any questions on how to go about that. And then here you have your meeting ID. So this is the meeting ID you're going to use when we meet on Zoom. Now, student office hours are for your benefit to help you succeed in the course. Office hours are for you, the student, not for me, as I am available at those times not only to discuss the course, but any questions you have about math courses at the college, your field of study, your transfer plans, and career paths. The best way to reach me is email, and it must be your student email account. Always include your name and the course and the section. All email contact between students and instructors must be conducted using the student and instructor CMC email accounts. For students, this is accessible via the MyCMC portal on the CMC website. Any student email received by faculty from another email account cannot be responded to other than to remind the student to use their school email account. Please also keep in mind that grades cannot be distributed by phone, public posting, public announcement, or by email. Now, the textbook is authored by James Stewart. The title is Calculus Concepts and Context with the 4th edition. The textbook is available used for under $20 at thriftbooks.com. Now, the textbook is optional, but what is required is the WebAssign registration code for the course. WebAssign can be purchased online with instructions located on Canvas. The homework and ebook registration is under $50 by choosing the 5-month access. Class participation. Optimal learning requires student participation in the online classroom as appropriate to the classroom activity. Participation includes such actions as responding to questions posed, actively contributing to a group discussion, and completion of assignments. The instructor will attempt to ensure all students have opportunities to express ideas, contribute to discussions, and receive additional information and clarification as needed. Instructor communication, information, participation, guidelines, and feedback policy. Students are encouraged to send an email anytime, 24/7. Call my office or leave voice messages. If I'm going to be away for an extended period and know in advance, I will let you all know in the announcement section of our course in Canvas. However, my policy is that I will usually respond within 12 to 24 hours except on weekends. Each week, I will provide grades or scores and comments on assignments within 4 to 6 days of when they were submitted. After I send feedback each week, you will receive notification through your email or in a classroom announcement that feedback has been sent. Check grades or for your feedback scores. As your instructor for this course, my goal is to facilitate your learning, answer questions, and encourage your participation. I will respond in a timely manner and on a consistent basis. I will provide feedback in discussion forums, chats, and in the Q&A section of each unit you may want to discuss. I will provide feedback on posts, responses, and assignments as appropriate in between 12 to 24 hours, again except on weekends. Now here is your grade component for this class. You have your homework and quizzes. Homework is in two parts. You have a lecture video assignment, then you have your homework assignment, and then you have quizzes throughout the semester. That's 25% of your grade. You have 4 exams, which are worth 50% of your grade, and the final exam, part 1 and part 2, that's 25% of your grade. And then below that is the grading scale. Attendance. All students are expected to log in and complete some work at least once a week. Each week without work is considered absent from 2 class meetings. A student who adds a class or registers after the first day of classes is counted absent from all weeks missed. In the effort to promote student success, CMC has approved the implementation of an instructor-initiated drop policy. When a student has been absent from class or classes to such an extent that his or her success is at risk, the instructor has the option of dropping the student. If a student has missed 12.5%, which is approximately 5 classes or 2.5 weeks of the semester without notifying the instructor with a satisfactory explanation, the student may be dropped by the instructor. This calculation includes absences occurring during add and drop period. As a result, you will negatively impact your group mates' grades if you fail to fully participate in each group discussion in a timely manner. Less than full participation in this course is extremely disruptive to the online learning model, so I reserve the right to drop you if 1. You do not complete the online orientation by earning 100% on the orientation assignment. You will have as many attempts as you need. Number 2, you fail to make any progress for 4 or more consecutive days, including weekends. And number 3, you fail to take the final exam as scheduled in class. Per the college's attendance policy, faculty has a right to develop a more stringent policy as well. Students who do not attend or participate in class by the deadline to drop for tuition refund may be deleted from the course. In this class, we function as a team, teaching and learning together in small groups that are reorganized from one module to the next. However, if you quit participating in this class, you should not assume that I would drop you. Should you choose to drop, ultimately it is your responsibility to officially withdraw. Materials. Desmos. It should be spelled D-E-S-M-O-S. There's a misspelling there. It's a free online calculator. Some portions of this class will require the use of a calculator. In this course, we will use the website or app Desmos as our graphing calculator. To familiarize yourself with Desmos, please watch the videos on Canvas along with the Desmos website or app. A Texas Instrument TI-30 is an excellent non-graphing calculator that will be sufficient for homework and exams. A Texas Instruments TI-83 or 84 are good graphing calculators that can be useful for quickly visualizing graphs. They are considerably more expensive than the TI-30. Other devices such as the TI-89, TI-Inspire, a cell phone, a computer that perform calculus operations are not allowed on exams. Note, exams will sometimes have 2 parts. A graph-related part where a calculator of any type is not allowed, and a non-graph-related part where any type of calculator is allowed. So having a graphing calculator will provide only limited advantage to test taking. Those persons with an access calculator accommodation may use the calculator listed on their accommodation sheet on all parts of the exam. Okay, course grading and information. Now, this is an asynchronous course, which means you will complete your coursework online and on your own schedule, but by the required deadline provided. Now, this course is delivered through video lectures on Canvas and an online course management system called WebAssign. Each chapter of the text that we are going to study has 3 parts described below. Part 1, Lecture Review Assignments. The lecture videos on Canvas is where the course content is delivered to you via reading assignments, video presentation examples, also with video solutions, interactive activities, and assessment questions. You begin each section by working through the lecture and then filling in a guided notebook, which should be described in more detail below. After you complete watching the lecture, you're going to complete each lecture review assignment. Once you complete the lecture review assignment, then you move on to part 2, which is the section homework. Upon completion of the section lecture review assignments, you should jump to the section's homework, which will be located on Canvas via Canvas. Part 3, end of chapter review quizzes. Each of these quizzes are located at the conclusion of each chapter on the WebAssign and included in your overall grade. So all assignments above, parts 1, 2, and 3, are due the day of the exam. Please review the late penalty policy further below in the syllabus. Exams. There will be 4 online. All exams will have a password and timed with extra time allotted for students registered with access. For online exams, you will submit your answers online via WebAssign. However, it is mandatory you show all your work for online exams. It must be neatly written and completed on paper with all work shown in chronological order. Once you have completed writing the exam, you will need to upload, scan photo your document to the location on Canvas. Final exam. There are 2 parts to the mandatory final exam. The final exam can replace your lowest test score using the following approach. It is my policy to replace a student's lowest test grade with the final exam at the end of the course, provided that it is higher than one of your lowest exam scores. For this reason, I do not give makeup tests. A missed test will be recorded as a 0 and then replaced accordingly at the end of the semester with that final exam grade. Missing the final will also result in a 0, and I do not drop this grade. The instructor has the right to adjust this policy under special circumstances. Please make note, there are no extensions for exams. There's no exceptions for that. Now below that you will see the dates for the 4 exams and the exam for the final. So please make sure that you have those written down. It's also on the timeline for the syllabus. Now, due dates, late penalties, and technical difficulties. All interactive homework quizzes, review assignments, and discussion questions have the following late penalty policy. Students submitting work for course assignments after the due date are subject to a penalty of 5% of the points possible for the assignment per day, i.e. for each day passing after the due date. So for example, submissions posted after the due date within 24 hours of the date the assignment is due will be penalized 5% of the potential value of the assignment. Submissions posted between 24 and 48 hours after the due date may be penalized up to 10%, and etc. Due dates will not be extended because of technical difficulties. The deadlines on these assignments are not extended, and you must make plans to complete these. Due dates for online assignments are clearly stated in WebAssign. The reason why they're not extended due to technical difficulties is because all of the assignments are due on the day of the exam. So technically you have an extension. So you do not want to wait until the day of the exam to request an extension. So please make sure that you're completing your assignments beforehand and before the due date. Homework, study tips, homework videos. There's a guided notebook. This is an activity manual located on a Canvas that you can access, download, and print. This is a place where you can take notes on the information given in the lecture videos by filling in all the information from the slides in the notebook. This will be a valuable resource for you as you work through the video assignments and online homework for each section, as well as the quizzes and tests over the corresponding material. Pay close attention to the homework videos located on Canvas. This will be helpful to you as you move along with your homework assignments. The next topic is the student learning outcomes. As I stated earlier, you have 2 parts to the exam, the final exam. The first part is going to cover the student learning outcomes. So upon successful completion of this course, students will be able to explain and illustrate the concepts of limit, continuity, instantaneous rate of change, derivative, linear approximation, and antiderivative. Apply the techniques of differentiation to basic functions and their algebraic combinations. Analyze and graph functions using methods of calculus, Use properties and rules of calculus to solve applied problems, including motion, related rates, and optimization problems. Determine the integral of a function using methods that include interpretation as a geometric area, the limit of Riemann sum, and the fundamental theorem of calculus. These outcomes will be assessed by questions on the quizzes, tests, and final exam. Students with disabilities and access. Students with disabilities, whether physical, learning, or psychological, who may need academic support in a classroom are encouraged to contact Access as soon as possible to ensure that appropriate accommodations and/or services are implemented. Further information about this program may be found on the Copper Mountain College website and in the Office of Student Services at the Access counter. Please visit CMC's Access website for more information at the following website, or you can call that number. Military-friendly statement. Veterans and active duty military personnel with special circumstances, for example, upcoming deployments, drill requirements, disabilities, are welcomed and encouraged to communicate these in advance if possible to the instructor. Equal opportunity statement. Copper Mountain College is committed to equal employment opportunity for all persons and to provide educational and employment opportunities free from discrimination based on ethnic group identification, national origin, religion, age, veteran status, sex, race, color, ancestry, sexual orientation, or physical or mental favors, and other physical or verbal conduct or communication constituting sexual harassment. Disclaimer. Changes in curriculum, grading standards, and other requirements could change as necessary. It is a student's responsibility to know and understand all policies, procedures, and requirements for Copper Mountain College in this class. Any concerns should be directed to your instructor, the appropriate department chair, or college administrator in that order. Information in this syllabus is subject to change. Any important changes will be announced in class, and you will be provided with an updated syllabus. So here you can see the tentative schedule. So for example, the first week, we cover sections 1.1 to 1.3, and you can see when the due dates are for the orientation and introduction assignment. And then you can see the second week, you can see when the exam is listed. So again, this timeline is also in Canvas as well, in addition to your syllabus. And then here you have your online classroom communication. And then below that is the statement on plagiarism and academic misconduct, and that will conclude the syllabus.